So initially, I actually wanted to talk about this, but the deeper I thought about it, the more I realized that there's a lot, like a lot of theory that I need to lay down before any of what I wanted to say would make sense. So the logical thing to do would be to lay down as much of that theory as I possibly could. But I also needed to make sure that this theory isn't going to devolve into what my friend would call musical gibberish.
Now, basically, the only new principle involved is that instead of power being generated by the relative motion of conductors and fluxes, it's produced by the modial interaction of magnetoreluctance and capacitive directance.
I want to try and define musical concepts in non-musical terms. Hopefully, this will shed some light into how music works, and also, most importantly, it will help you make better music. So, enough waffling. Let's define scales in non-musical terms. First of all, a scale is a collection of notes that sound good together. Anybody who tries to tell you otherwise is trying to sell you something. Don't buy it. We want to think or define a scale like we define an outfit. An outfit will often comprise of several different clothing items that are working together to make you look good. Obviously, you're not going to just randomly pick clothing items from your wardrobe. Instead, you're going to carefully pick the items that work well together to produce the particular look or outfit that you want to wear that day. Scales are exactly the same. The notes that are chosen to be part of the scale are very specific to a particular kind of scale. So you don't just randomly pick notes to make up a scale. In music, there's a grand total of 12 notes to choose from. These 12 notes will be equivalent to, say, all the clothing items in your wardrobe. So obviously, depending on which particular clothing item you choose to be part of your outfit, you're going to end up with a different type of outfit. And when I say different type of outfit, it means if you pick certain clothing items, you're going to end up with a formal outfit. If you pick certain clothing items, you're going to end up with a comfortable outfit or maybe a casual outfit, gym wear, etc. That's what I mean when I say type of outfit. And this concept also applies to our scales. Depending on the specific notes that you choose to be part of your scale, you're going to end up with a different type of scale. So which notes you pick will either decide if you have a major scale, a minor scale, a pentatonic scale, whole tone scale, blues scale, etc. Some people have been making music for eons now without knowing a lick of music theory, which is fair and fine. Music is a practical subject after all. All you need to be able to make music is a bit of creativity and a good ear. So those kind of people will probably be wondering, what even is the point of then sitting down now to learn all these skills when I can already make music? Well, first of all, if you've been making music but you don't know theory, it only means that you know at the very least one scale. You just don't know that you know it. But we'll talk about that more when we look into the actual scales. Secondly, we're going to go back to our outfits. Why would you choose to wear one outfit over another? Or rather, more specifically, why would you choose to wear formal over, say, your gym wear? Why would you choose to wear your swimwear over your casual? What's the reasoning behind that? It's pretty obvious, right? It's as plain to see as a tractor driver. I mean, your formal outfit, you're going to wear it probably at work, at church, or maybe at a wedding. You're going to put on your gym wear at the gym. Maybe you want to take a jog or at yoga. You're going to wear your casual if you're hanging out with your friends or just chilled at home. In all these cases, the clothes, the outfit that you wear has certain attributes that make it appropriate for one situation, but not another, right? Like you wouldn't wear your swimwear at a funeral. This same concept applies to the scales. These scales, they have certain qualities that make them ideal for one situation over another. And that's why we have multiple scales instead of just using one, because we want to pick the scale that is going to be the most appropriate for the situation that you are writing your music for. For example, the kinds of situations that you're going to will come across are the mood of the song, the message that you're trying to put across, right? What kind of a message is it? Is it a happy message? Is it a sad message? Is it a heartbreak? What is it exactly? You want to pick a scale that best illustrates that message that you're trying to send. There are so many scales that we could talk about, but in today's video, I'm only going to discuss the two most common types of scales used in music today, which are the major scale and the minor scale. We're going to start with the major scale. The major scale is the granddaddy of all the scales. You'll find that most of the scales that I'll be discussing here are derivatives of this scale. In our non-musical terms, you can think of the major scale as that outfit that you can wear at most occasions. So it's like your jack of all trades, right? I'm not very familiar with ladies' fashion, but I know that for guys, there's this outfit that your bog standard shirt and chino pants. You know, you can go from work to church to wherever with that outfit, right? But if you're not that kind of a person, then you can think of this scale in one of two ways. Is the outfit that you spend most of your time in. So, for example, your soldiers are going to be spending most of their time in uniform. Probably the lawyers are going to spend most of their time in suits. Or you can think of it like the outfit that you are most comfortable in. This can vary from person to person. It can be sweatpants and a t-shirt, can be just a simple dress, whatever suits you. A little while back, I said this. First of all, if you've been making music, but you don't know theory, it only means that you know, at the very least, one scale. You just don't know that you know it. But we'll talk about that more when you look into the actual scales. Well, chances are the one scale that you know, but you don't know that you know, is this one, the major scale. When you hear people saying, but Discord, what they're essentially trying to say is those shoes don't go with the rest of the outfit. The major scale sounds like this. And tell me if you've heard this one before. For choristers, you probably know it as this. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Contrary to what most of my music teachers have taught me over the years, I actually consider the major scale to be a neutral tone scale. You see, musical scales are measured on a spectrum of brightness, from bright scales to dark scales. Bright scales are associated with light-hearted themes. So think about your happiness, your joy, falling in love, miracles, magic, praise, etc. All those feel-good vibes are associated with bright scales. So if you want to illustrate those themes in your music, then you have better results using a brighter scale. Whereas the dark side of the scales is associated with quote unquote negative themes, heavy hearted themes. So your sadness, loss, heartbreak, fear, grief, death, etc. All those themes are associated with dark scales. So if you want to bring out those kinds of emotions in your music, then you also have better luck associating your music with darker tone scales. Like I said, consider the major scale to be a neutral tone scale for two main reasons. The first reason being that the major scale is so common that almost everyone has an idea of what the major scale should sound like. Therefore, we will be using it as a reference to determine how bright or dark the other scales that we'll be looking at are. The second reason why I consider the major scale to be a neutral tone scale is because of its versatility. You see, the major scale is easily comfortable in light-hearted themes and dark, heavy-hearted themes, rather. So that means that you can write a sad song or a happy song in the major scale, and it will still convey the same feelings as though you have used either a bright scale or a dark scale. For this reason, I consider the major scale to be neutral. Probably because the major scale is so common that even someone who doesn't know about scales, who can still write music, will probably know the major scale. Therefore, if the major scale is the only scale that they know how to write in, they are going to write music, whether it is sad, happy, and so on. But if you don't believe me, go and listen to Tuku. Listen to the amount of themes that he covers within the major scale. He covers everything from joy, happiness, to loss, domestic abuse. Everything in between is covered by Tuku in his catalog, and he has never left the major scale. The next scale, the last scale that we're going to look at today, is actually the minor scale, which is the major scale's serious little brother. The minor scale is a few steps darker than the major scale, so it will lend itself to more dark themes. To be more specific, it is more suitable for situations that require seriousness, sadness to some extent, but humbleness as well. So, in non musical terms, this would be your formal way, but not like any kind of formal way, not like a wedding formal way, but a funeral formal way. And this is also the kind of formal way that you would wear probably at an interview where you're trying to make a very particular kind of impression. When you look at the two scales, the major scale and the minor scale, you notice that three of the notes are different. And just as changing the bottom that you wear with a particular shirt or blouse is going to change the type of outfit you're wearing from, say, a formal outfit to a casual outfit, changing these few notes is what gives the two scales their distinctive sound. It's what gives the minor scale the darker tonality, which lends itself to the more serious themes that I already mentioned before. Listening to the two scales side by side, you hear the differences in their tone. I'll start with the major scale, starting from C. And then the minor scale. As you can see and as you heard, these two scales sound different from each other. They may have some common notes here and there, but the different notes, the notes that differ from each scale, give each one a very distinctive characteristic, that brightness or darkness which I was referring to when I was talking about the spectrum of scale tone. Now, I know this is not much to go on, but it's a good place to start. Next time I plan on talking about modes, but until then, take care of yourself.